Okay, perfect. Looks like this is recording. So, Pranit, thank you so much for being on the call. And this is lovely to see you. And I think this is the first or the second time I'm calling you Pranit. Let me keep it casual and by calling it Tambe, because Tambe is something that sounds familiar to me as well.
Yeah, definitely. The whole world calls me Tambe, and I think Tambe is like more comforting name for me. So
Perfect, perfect. So, Dame, I want to first talk about an introduction from my side to you. Let me just clear to the end users, and then I would love to hear about your introduction from your side as well. So, just for the end users, so how did I get to know about Pranit or Dambe? Is because of Rutvik, who is one of the group of friends I met at Duke. And Rutvik and Dambe are really good friends since school, if I'm not mistaken. And then, we kind of met, and then we have some thoughts which very well align on few aspects, which I really like. And that's how the continued relationship. But Pranay, this was like a personal description from my side. I would love to have kind of a more of professional description from your side. So Tambe, if you want to go ahead and give a brief
Sure.
introduction.
My name is Pranit, born and raised in Pune, Maharashtra, India. I did my undergrad in computer engineering, and then right after my undergrad, I came to the US to pursue my master's in finance and risk management from University of Connecticut in the city campus of Stanford. And then it has been like 2.5 years for me in the US almost. And right now I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, working as a risk analyst at a company called Crown Castle.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, man. So I want to now get into a bit detail of the first question for me is with regards to the internship. So I think the main question that I will have and which I want to spend most of the time would be more with regards to that you came in directly after your undergrad to pursue your master's, and why not the experience part. But I'll try to park this question towards the later end. So let me focus first on the internship and the full-time part, but then I'll get to that question.
Sure.
Perfect. So the first question is your internship with regards to Crane NXT. So I will divide this into two parts. One, a bit of a process, if you can help us understand how was the journey before or while you got the internships, and a process or a journey with regards to what, like after you received that internship, what was I mean, after you received the interview call, what was the process of the interview? So how many rounds did you go through? And what was if you want to get into details of what kind of questions they were asking, and what were they expecting of you? And then we can move on to the full-time part as well.
Sure. When I landed in the US, it had been 2 months for me since I've been going through lectures and meeting seniors and conversing with them. So I didn't know the impact of internship was, that heavy when I landed, because everyone's, been talking about, I want an internship next summer. I want an internship next summer. And then when I spoke to a few seniors of mine, they said that, getting an internship is very important because all of them had it. And then, I tried asking them, how do you do it? And then when I showed them my resume and they just took a glance at it, they were like, no one's gonna hire you. And then that sort of, I was like, I need to work on my resume. So I took like 15 days time off, just gapping each and everything because coming from my background to, pursue something which is completely different from what I did in my undergrad was a little challenging because I have to, incorporate those things as well so that the recruiters know that I have some kind of base knowledge while getting an internship. So, yeah, I started it. And so the city in which I was located, Stamford, Greenwich, Connecticut. So it comes under New York City metropolitan area. So over there, there were a lot of finance companies. So that was the main reason to choose Uconn and the specific campus. And then the first interview I got, I mean, I was all very happy. I got it in December, and then it was okayish, but then definitely the first one's not the luckiest one, so I didn't get that either. But then slowly, Jan came, Feb came, I applied more aggressively, because internship opportunities are very less, And plus, I had a caveat that I had a summer semester as well. So I had to find an internship within that area, or it has to be completely remote. So my options were further, filtered down. And then I started aggressively, going to websites and looking for all the hedge funds and all the insurance tech companies around my area, and just emailing their HR and attaching my resume that I did my undergrad in this. I know, such analytical tools. If you have any openings, I can, be of great help. So like that happened, and then I started getting calls. I had like uh, I gave interviews at, like, 12 companies to be precise. And then by that time, all my friends had gotten an internship. And so there was a company in Stanford called Crane Company. Over there, I had interned as a financial analyst. Sorry, I had given an interview for the financial analyst summer intern. And then I went to the last round. It was like three rounds. And then in the last round, like, I didn't get it. And I was like, very, very disappointed about that, because I was very confident and I really wanted that company, because I think that that company would have given me a good start. And then that was in March. And what had happened in April, that a new company was announced called Crane NXT, which was a subdivision of that company. So I just saw that they had a risk management intern opening. I was like, let's try giving an interview over there. So I applied, and then when I told them that I already gave an interview with Crane Company, while all this happened, I already had an offer from another company.
Hmm.
So that was a compliance analyst intern, but it was like I was, wanted to get into more of, risk and everything. So I gave an interview at Crane NXT then. And luckily, I mean, the interview went well, because the hiring manager, I told them that I had given an interview over there. I went to the last round. So I think he knew that, given that it's their parent company and going to the last round till that. So this guy may be something. So he was like, and then apparently on my birthday, 23rd of May, I got an offer from that company. And then it was, I think, a very good birthday gift, because it was my first birthday away from home. And I was like, not in a good mood, like, since morning, because it was my birthday and then I'm not able to celebrate it with my family. But then that one call, that it just lightened my day up.
Perfect. No, that's really great. That's good to know. Getting birthday gifts is like that. I think one of my other friends also got their final internship job offer on the day of their birthday, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, that's not the point here. So coming back to the internship that you mentioned. So unfortunately, I mean, I would wanted to park this question towards the end, but I think now it's getting a bit more serious. So I want to ask this question early on right now. So Pranit, I just wanted to understand, you did your undergraduate in computer science, which is, one of the, I would say the most hot topics that has been
Yeah,
around. I'm sure
definitely.
you've heard about it. And I think I'm sure you've heard this question a lot already, more than me asking it. But I just want to ask that why specifically did you pivot from a bachelor's in computer science into FRM, which is financial risk management, and for your master's? And like what motivated you to do
Sure.
that?
So growing up in a, very competitive environment with your grades and everything, everyone's going around, I have to give this competitive exams because I want to get into engineering. And plus, my father's an engineer. All my family, most likely all my cousins, everyone, like, is an engineer. So I think I had no option. So I got into engineering. And then my father had like a very simple rule: if you want to do anything, just like have a basic degree of engineering, so that, if anything doesn't work out, you can always come back to this, which I was okay with, because it's not like I didn't like computer science or anything of that sort. I could do it. I had some fun doing it. So during my third year, which is your junior year, um, the COVID hit, and I started, date trading in the stock market along with my father. And then that really got me interested in. And I was like, okay, then what is this field of, investment banking and finance and everything? So I started investing more of my time in that as well. That because there have been people who have, transitioned their careers from engineering to um, finance. So I was like, this sounds good. So in the second half of third year, I think everyone starts their GRE prep. And then I went to a counselor. I was like, I want to do something with this regarding the finance. And, if you can just blend engineering with it. So the counselor, said that, yeah, we can surely do it. So she started showing me a few of the colleges that, provide such programs. And then I came across specifically UConn because it had a risk management and finance. So I was like, this sounds interesting as well. So let's give it a shot because I had gotten a scholarship of $12,000. Plus, I was a little location specific because uh, studying about finance and who doesn't want to live like, near New York. So that was something I was very much specific about because I had gotten a $20,000 scholarship from University of California, Irvine as well, but then I chose Yukon over it. And I think it's a good decision because the location really does matter. Because I don't think so. If I hadn't like chosen Yukon, then I wouldn't have gotten my internship or anything. So then I chose Yukon, and then when I came, uh, I started going through lectures of financial analysis, modeling, and then it was a little difficult for me, definitely. But I was like, let's get an internship first because uh, in the past, it's always been that when I work on something, it's better for me to understand. So luckily, I got an internship in risk, which was like, not your financial risk, it's enterprise risk. So then it started developing more. So
Perfect. Perfect. No, that's really great. So, Brian, the next question I had was more with regards to what kind of questions, they were asking you during your internship interview, which would eventually lead to my next question of more with regards to how was it dealing with people who had experience, especially in finance, while you're doing an FRM, and how was that experience, and what would you prefer if gotten another chance? Would you? I mean, I'm talking also with regards to if there's somebody new who's
yeah.
like also doing a bachelor's in computer science is in their third year of engineering and want to get into financial risk management. So what should their approach be? Should they follow the same path, or is it something that you would talk about? And then, of course, as I mentioned, the topic of the questions in the internship interview.
So I'll just like answer this question in like two parts. So first thing, I'll keep it as a financial risk, and part two will be enterprise risk. So most of my friends, like in FRM, they got an internship in financial risk, apart from me. I think that a few of my friends who were CAs and who had done MBAs with seven work years of work experience, they had gotten into a much better company. So I have a friend. She lives in Hoboken itself. She had got an internship with PayPal. So I think in having an experience in financial risk is definitely worth it if you want to go into hardcore financial engineering and financial risk, then I would recommend at least working for like 3 years at least, so that it can give a good boost to a profile because us financial risk market is a little different. And I think for a fresher it can be a little overwhelming as well, but I would 100% recommend that if someone wants to go into hardcore financial risk, they should have some at least 2 to 3 years of work experience. And then, given like enterprise risk, I feel having experience is good, but enterprise risk experience in like India is difficult to get because the insurance market is not really big in India compared to the US. Because in the US it's like a $1.6 trillion economy, and so if you are if you want to go into enterprise risk, I think you can come as a fresher, but then you have to work a lot on your networking and just meeting people, getting to know about how the industry works, and just finding yourself an internship will really really help you.
Perfect. Perfect. And now talking about Pranit, also the sections of what kind of interview questions they were asked during your internship, if we can put some light on that as well.
So I think in an interview question, uh, mostly I was asked just like basic questions related to how would you handle a situation, given that if there's like a conflict or uh, if there's project deadline. So how would you handle it specifically? And then a few obviously theoretical questions as well, that how will you calculate VAR or anything of that sort. But the conflict handling questions, and these are, I think, the real core of an internship interview, because the interviewer also knows that you're coming from college, so you might have less corporate experience, so they just want to know how well you communicate and how good at it. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Perfect. So, Brian, now going to the next part, which is the ground castle full-time experience. So, if you want to talk about, how the process was of getting an interview, and
Yeah.
you can talk a bit about how was the interview. Uh,
Yeah, so I was interning till the December of 2023, but I had started my job search way before that in October.
Mhm.
So I knew that the market was competitive. And first, like I applied to like 300-400 companies, and I got like hardly two or three calls. And then most of like, so you apply to like big companies like Goldman and JP Morgan, so you get their what do you call it, screening,
Mhm.
the basic assessment, sorry, not screening. So I gave that, but I don't know why, but I never got a call back after an assessment. So uh, I then applied to more and more companies, and I had no interviews in like, I think I only had one in December, but then till the second half of January, I had no interviews at all. And during that period, I was like, I'm on a application streak. Like every night, I used to sit for like 3-4 hours, just like put some music, and then just like doing your application. So to give like a number, I think I did around 1,400 to 1,600 applications for sure. And then after even like doing those, I had just nine interviews, nine companies. I just had an interview with nine companies, and then uh, two of them I had gotten into a final round, and I got only offer from one. So uh, that was like very competitive. But I think it's a lot of learning experience as well, because even if like you get an interview, you don't crack it. So you yourself know that what was your weakness, so you work on it, and then you're well prepared for the next one. So by just learning and learning, I think giving interviews is one of the best practices.
Perfect. Perfect. And now let's talk about one of the kind of questions that you were asked during the interview process, and how was an interview for an analyst who's trying to get into risk management, and what do they expect from you,
Yeah.
and those kind of questions. And do you think it was different for you? I mean, for the internship, I understand because they understand that somebody's coming from
Yeah.
college and is going to back to college, so it's not that
Right.
long period of a time. But full time is like somebody's going to hire you forever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at least as possible. So, how was the experience there, and what did you feel that like was there any point in time I wanted to understand that the full time experience would have mattered if you had any kind of prior full-time experience, or was this something that irrespective of that you're going to be on the same page?
I think, as I said, going into enterprise risk, full-time experience wouldn't matter as much, but I think having an internship will 100% matter a lot, a lot, a lot. So that was very important. So so I'll tell you about how, like how was the interview process at Crown Castle. So I think it was like 4 to 5 interview rounds,
Mhm.
and the first was like the basic HR screening. and the second one was with the director of risk management, which is she's my current manager as well. So she was interested more about my internship experience, and again like conflict handling situations and few of the terms in the insurance industry.
Got it.
And then after that, my third round was with the director of legal operations and the VP of legal operations and corporate and commercial transactions. So my department, it comes under risk and legal, especially. So over there, they were also interested in that how I secured my internship, and and then a little, conflicting questions as well, but a little of higher standard of, given a situation in a company, how will you face it, which was quite tricky because those can be nervous because I had little to no experience of, corporate conflicts. So, but then, yeah, these were but the last round was a case study round. So they had given me a case of, and then I had to prepare a presentation. And I had, prepared a presentation, and my case study round didn't go well at all. Like, uh, I was, I think, if they asked like 10 questions, I think I was only able to answer like properly three questions, and two of them like haphazardly. And then I don't think so. I was able to answer like four or five questions like straight. So it was not a good experience at all. And but then like at the end of the interview, I said that I know you all had this is not the type of case study you expected me to give you, but I'm pretty new to the industry, and I'm still eager to learn 100%. And then my call got over, and the entire day like I was not in a good mood. So and the next day I woke up, I was just like opened my laptop, and I just got a call that hey, we are calling from Crown Castle, and we would like to offer you a position. And like I was spellbound and overwhelmed at the same time because I was not expecting a call at all, because the way it went, I was not expecting a call at all. So that happened. Then when like I joined, so after a month, I asked that, I didn't do well at all for my case study. Then what made you hire me? So they said that we knew that, you are not going to able to answer those questions because those are actually questions at a really high level and for people with experience, but you showed some enthusiasm and eager to learn. So that was the main reason why we thought that, if he's straight out of college, he'll be able to learn more, and uh, that will be better for the company as well. So
Got it. Perfect. I think I'm down to Brent. One last question that I'll ask. I think this question is more with regards to how much, because, as I mentioned early on in the call, that you kind of transition from your undergrad directly to your grad or to find an internship. So I just wanted to understand, was like, how much did the piece of your UConn's uh, financial risk management studies help during the interview process? Of course, I mean, getting an interview is a separate process, so I cannot include that. There
right.
are some technical skills required there. But I want to know more about during the interview calls while you were having a conversation with them. So, do you think that was something that made the difference? And if yes, of what sort?
So I had so first of all, as I said, that my resume was not in good shape. So I submitted to my career counselor. So she made a few tweaks here and there. And I think Uconn's name is a little reputed. So especially on the East Coast. So they get, okay, he's from Uconn. Let's give it a try. And but then overall, I think whatever you study, they will definitely help you. Even though there were a few questions which were hardcore related to finance that I was asked in an interview, and I was not able to answer them because they were very difficult. But I think, yeah, UConn's program is good, because like if you are at it and you're, you know continuously, learning every day, so it's very good. But that, I don't think so that was the case for me. I had difficulties a little bit, and I was not able to answer a lot of questions in the interview because of that. So I think you have to, if you want to go in that field, then you just have to learn every day. and follow, most importantly, follow the financial markets. Be up to date with it.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's that. Frankly, these are the details that I really wanted to know. And this is, I think, a lot of experience from your side that's coming in. So I hope that anybody who's watching this video gets some kind of help with that. I'm not sure how many do actually watch it, but at least whosoever does. So thank you so much for being on the call, and thank you so much for sharing your insight. I think this is the first time I'm having a conversation with somebody who is in the FRM domain, and so I really appreciate you being on the call.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you, Safaya, for having me over here as well. I hope if anybody's watching this, if this can even help you like 5%, I'll be more than happy. So
Perfect. Thank you.
thank you.
Stop recording.